Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you and Chairman Waxman for asking our witnesses to come today and holding this hearing at this important time. As we speak, it's unclear whether the so-called top kill procedure has been successful, but it does appear that it has been at least partially successful, and hopefully we'll know by the end of the day that it's been totally successful. No one can bring back the 11 individuals who lost their lives on the drilling rig back in April. We can't put the oil that's been spilled back into the reservoir, but perhaps if we work together we can find out what caused the problem, what can be done to fix the problem right now, and what can be done to prevent it in the future. I'm disappointed with the President's decision today to stop drilling in the deep Gulf and in Alaska. I think putting our drilling programs in those areas in a deep freeze is exactly the wrong approach. All we're going to do is cause unemployment and cause the price of oil to go up, which is going to hurt our economy even more, and we're already hurting with almost 10% unemployment. So I think that the President has made a decision that will come back to hurt this country. I want to make one thing perfectly clear, Mr. Chairman. Under current law, the President is in charge of this cleanup. This accident occurred in the federal waters in the Gulf of Mexico, outside the state limit. We have a law that makes the President in charge from day one. I do think the President made the right decision to put British Petroleum in charge of day-to-day decision-making under the supervision of the Coast Guard, the EPA, the MMS, and other federal agencies. It is the BP's responsibility. They're the primary owner of the well, and I don't second-guess that decision at all. But make no mistake, there's not been one decision that I'm aware of, unless some of the panelists tell us so today, that BP or Halliburton or Transocean or Cameron has made that wasn't acknowledged by federal officials and wasn't approved by federal officials. And again, it's real easy to sit up here on the podium, Mr. Chairman, and second guess. I went down to Louisiana with you and others of this committee and went to the command site and then went out and overflew the accident site. It is tough to be there and have to make decisions on what to do when there's no easy, obvious answer. So I don't think it's fair to second guess some of the decisions that have been made, but I think it is fair if you're going to try to pin the blame on somebody, as President Truman says, the buck stops here. And as this is a federally, under current federal law, the President of the United States is ultimately in charge. It is not BP that has not given the okay to build the berms down in the state of Louisiana that the Corps of Engineers until today had been sitting on for a month. That was not a BP decision. It is not a BP decision to be using one dispersant and then be told by the EPA to use another and then be told again to go back and use the other dispersant. In fact, while it was a BP recommendation to use dispersant to try to keep the oil under the surface, that in itself, I understand, could be a controversial decision. That was a decision that was ultimately approved by the Environmental Protection Agency. I think, Mr. Chairman, that this committee, under the leadership of Mr. Stupak and yourself and Mr. Waxman, with help from Dr. Burgess and Mr. Upton and myself, have conducted a fair investigation. My position on this is pretty straightforward. Let's stop the spill, and hopefully today we'll accomplish that. Let's then clean up the damage, and I know everybody is trying to do that. Let's conduct a fair, fact-based investigation, and based on that decide what policies need to be changed, what best practice procedures need to be changed to prevent a situation like this from happening in the future. If we do that, Mr. Chairman, while this again is a tragic accident, 11 people have lost their lives, hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil have been spilled into the Gulf, our ecology has been impacted, our economy has been impacted, If we learn from this, though, we can hopefully prevent it from happening in the future. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.